Hey guys, welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my cactus live stream, cactus care, cactus seedlings. I brought seedlings here, check it out. Maybe we're singling some of them out. There are 1 or 2 containers with way too many seedlings, so we might do something there today. And yeah, great to be back. Hey guys, hope you are doing all right. Hope you are having a good week. Today I want to discuss all the cactus seedling stuff. I have some in the bag. I have some out of the bag that need water. Yeah, and I also want to discuss about the cactus groups on Facebook that I have paused today. I will discuss that later. I paused a few pretty big groups simply because I'm quite unhappy how things are going on the platform, and I don't feel that they are fair to me as someone who is maintaining all that work for them. So yeah, I paused the group, a few of them, and I will discuss that later today, just a little bit. So yeah, great to be back. Thank you for being part of my stream. Hey, good morning. Great to see you. Hope you're all right. Yeah, new day, new chance. We'll see what we do today. Yeah, brought a lot of seedlings again, and I want to talk about the stuff with the groups because the live stream is also a little bit something of my spokes channel, and I want to discuss what happened. Okay, well, basically I've been building and maintaining, moderating pretty big cactus groups on Facebook over the last 10-12 years. I don't recall how long exactly, but relatively from the beginning when they had groups, I've been there creating communities and about many different cacti, different genera. And over the years, these have grown into pretty big communities. But over the last years, the conditions for moderating have become worse, like continuously have gotten worse. It's so much work that you always have to do. You are basically moderating every hour of the day. When you're awake, when you have, when you are active in a hobby group, then you will be busy all the time. And yeah, after having a lot of issues with Facebook in the last few months, actually, and with groups already longer than that, already way before that, they are just making it very hard to work on the platform. And that's why I decided to pause some of them. I just don't see that mutual respect that I expect. That is really important when you are kind of, when you are building a platform like when you're building a community on a platform, you are kind of, it also creates a lot of content for the platform. It's also good for them. And yeah, they are just trying to replace people like me with AI. They are not really treating the creators the way they should. I've been coming up on Facebook over the years. Like, I got my start with these kind of communities, with these cactus communities, and that kind of branched out into other stuff. And yeah, and I feel like the way they are doing it is just not very fair towards the creators, towards the people who create all that kind of content, So yeah, I can't continue the way I used to in the past, like the way I've been always moderating 10 different communities at once during a normal day, just sitting there in between having lunch break, in between watching television. You're constantly moderating, approving accounts, and I can't continue like the way they have been. Like, just to remind everyone, yesterday I talked about that 40 email chain that I have with the Meta support, where they have saved me under the wrong name, and they can't even handle that. They weren't even willing to handle that. Like, help me with a real issue that could be settled in a second. Just, okay, we have saved this guy up with a false forename. Let's change it. They could do that within a second, but they decided not to. So I decide I can't continue to invest so much time on a platform that thinks so little of the creators, that it gives them such a customer service. 40 emails to save to change that, and nothing has happened. I sent them many emails, many questions, and I always got the same robot-like replies. I couldn't do it anymore. I just didn't see that trust in that platform that you have to have when you are there every day. Like the live stream that I'm doing right now, that's the reason I'm doing it on YouTube, because they've been kind to me. They've treated me better. And yeah, I feel like right now they are pushing away the good people. And yeah, it's their decision to make. It's their mistake to make. I believe there should be this kind of content that we're doing here. Gardening, plant content, nature. I feel like they should be promoting it more. I feel like they should be supporting these people more, because society would be better for it if they would do that, instead of pushing the classic influencer content, the classic kind of hateful stuff that just draws the clicks, you know. So yeah, that's why I paused some of the groups, and it had to be done, because I can't really do that long term with them anymore. Thank you. I believe so too. I believe YouTube is a great place for me right now for the kind of stuff that I want to do. So, but I also, you know, some of those communities, they have all the members that supported the community over the years. I didn't want to abandon them. This has been going on for years now, like where I put enormous effort into communities. I just like that kind of thing. But yeah, there's a limit for everything. Especially the way they are acting right now, the way they are pushing that kind of AI stuff that people don't want, or that a lot of people don't want. I definitely don't want to support it the way they want it, as a replacement for creators. Yeah, I haven't even started to stream much on Facebook, so I can't tell. I've heard a lot of stuff about Twitch, and I have an account, but I just feel like it takes so much time to build that kind of a presence. And I invested like 8 years on YouTube. At this point, I feel like I feel home, you know. I feel like I found something that you know, you're always unsure as a creator, because you do not know how the future develops, which platforms will succeed. But I'm at a point where I just feel like I picked the platform that that's the best of them. And right now, I've had so many issues on Facebook. Like I said, 40 emails. Imagine you are 40 emails into a conversation with customer service, and they keep sending you the same kind of text block, copy and paste. I'm not sure if I was even talking to real people, you know. And if you treat good people like that, they will walk away. At least that's what they should do, and that's what I'm doing. There's a limit. I have many friends on Facebook, and I still post for my supporters there. I have really loyal supporters that only have an account there, and I don't want to let them down. So I post like that minimum that I post, like maybe 10% of what I'm posting here. But I still post it for the people who like the page, who want to see what I'm doing. But I'm not. It's intentional that I'm doing the streams here now. It's just not comparable to. At some point, you have to walk away. Okay, so good that I said it. I'm always happy to, if someone has questions about that. Like sometimes I have members of my groups that want to have a chat with me. I'm always open about that. I'm sorry for the people who like the communities that I built. But yeah, conditions have become worse. So many, it's so much work. and there are only so many hours in the day. Okay, so let's go through the cacti. Let's discuss the little cactus seedlings here. These need water. Apart from that, they are okay. Not looking good because they should have been watered a few more times yesterday. But this keeps the fungus gnats at bay. So it will get water now. And then it will go into the greenhouse again. These are maybe 2.5 months old. And we have grown them on the live stream. For now, these need to stay inside, like under my plant lamp, for a few more months. We will see if they will make it this year to come outside. If not, that's okay. I will give them patience. Sometimes you have to give them the time they need. Okay, in this one, these haven't been looking very well. Kind of sickly looking seedlings genetically. The soil is okay. This has been put into new soil. They should grow if they were healthy, but they aren't. So yeah, doesn't look good. This seedling here in center, this looks like it's already gone. We would take it out. This is just, check out, this is milky white. Milky white is a bad color to see on the cactus seedling. This comes out. And the other 3 that are still in there, I wouldn't really bet on them being here for long term. They just don't grow naturally, not healthily. I would spray them once now. Just because I like giving the seedlings that kind of a rain experience that wild plants would get. But that is all that I can do here. Unfortunately, this will come into the bag again, and then in a few weeks we will have another look and decide if we can take it out or not. Probably this here doesn't have any kind of long-term viability, in my opinion. Not seeing it. They are just not growing. And there's so many different seedlings that I have here that are growing, that want to live. So yeah, this thing doesn't close. Okay. So I've had issues with the fingers because I've started repotting cactus seedlings, and now my fingers hurt. Everything hurts. I can barely move the thumbs because they had gotten a few spines here and there. So now everything's a little bit more difficult. Okay, yeah, these good and bad. There's green seedlings. That is basically a good thing at this point with so many variegated seedlings. Some of them need to be corrected. Like this one is lying there. I want to fix that. Here, these seedlings in center there. This stuff here, they are not well positioned. They are like in a weird angle. I will fix that. I just want to give the seedlings a good start in life. So we might have to move 1 or 2 of them. Okay, so this one comes a little bit more into the center because it's a healthy looking seedling and it has potential. But unfortunately, it was at a darker corner of the pot. Okay, so I always try to get that seedling a little bit of some soil around it, so at the base. This one here, this is crooked. I don't like that. I want to correct that a little bit. Maybe I can get the seedling to be a little bit deeper in the soil and straight them. That would be good. Taking out a little bit of wood that was too close to the seedling. Here too. Okay. So I'll put this a little deeper. Yeah, and here's a seedling that is lying that I want to just get back up now. I really put a lot of effort into making sure that the seedlings are straight in the soil with good connection. I don't just put them on top of the soil. I really make sure that they are connected, that they have a way to take in water. That can really make a huge difference if you just do that in the beginning. Just getting the seedlings into a position where they have a favorable chance to make it. Okay. Yeah. Apart from that, not much we can do in here. I will spray a little bit more, a little bit water on top of that. Okay, and now one of the seedlings has fallen over again. I just fixed that. At this point, when the soil is so wet, you can do that easily. You can easily move the seedlings around. Yeah, and in this container, there are a lot of green seedlings and a few white ones. I believe that the white ones will probably not stick around. They will probably not make it. Sometime soon we will start grafting, and then we will graft one of these whitish seedlings. But for now, it's still a little too early. We like the grafting stocks that I want to use. We are growing them right now. Yeah, and they need a little bit longer. You could already graft on them, but at this point it would be a little early. So yeah, sometime soon we will graft a few seedlings here and there, just to show you how it's done. Those will go back into the bag now. The seedlings are a little bit too small to take them out, but they're not that far away. I have some out already that are roughly a similar size. Check out this. They're also not so big, but it's risky. You can lose a few here and there when you are taking them out too early. So I want to spray those. And when the soil is a little bit more flexible, I will move one or two seedlings that have fallen over. I'm not sure why they have fallen over, but it's usually either related to seedling having a poor connection, just not being well positioned, or something damaging the roots. Very often fungus gnats, that kind of stuff. So always, if you see seedlings that suddenly end up without a root, that would be a huge warning to me. Big red flag. Yeah, apart from that, I had to take out the seedling. I looked at the base and it wasn't there. That is probably the reason why these are already out. Normally they are a little bit too small, but there are many situations where you can be forced to bring them out of humidity a little early. And in this case, it probably was the fungus gnats that ate the base of that seedling. So yeah, this needs to dry out again today. And when it has dried out, then I would start watering again. But this needs to dry out in between. If I'm not doing that, I risk losing more seedlings to the fungus gnat larvae that need a certain humidity. If they don't get it, then you can control them pretty easily. But you really need to keep an eye out for, you shouldn't keep the soil wet completely, like through and through. Every now and then the soil should dry out. Okay, so here's that container again with those 4 seedlings that I transplanted, just to look at them again if they have shown any kind of viable growth. Not really, but it's okay. 1 or 2 have spines. You don't see it in this kind of video setting, but some of them have spines. They're not completely lifeless. There's a chance that they will at some point start to grow a little faster. So I would just water them now, and then they will come back under the lamp. And I just hope that we will get a little bit of growth from those. For now, they are just too small. Okay, this one here I wanted to show you. These are also maybe 3 months old, sown out on the live stream. And yeah, this is a columnar cactus crossed with a flower hybrid, trying to get a good flower on the column. Yeah, we will see how they will do, but one thing that stands out is that we have two entirely different types of seedlings, these normal ones and all those smallish ones that haven't grown much. That is probably some sort of a mutation, maybe cresting, maybe monstrous growth. And yeah, I hope that we can get those small ones also to adulthood. That would be great. I really want to see how they will come out because they obviously grow differently. This is not the classic type of seedling that you see also in the pot. It's interesting to get such a diverse mix of seedlings in one pot from the same seeds. So yeah, this needs water, and then it comes back under the lamp. Okay, let me see what we have here. These are relatively young, still in the bag. Maybe a month old at the most. Check it out. These are just in the first cactus life stage, just being a little tiny blob of green on the soil. But they are not growing well here, unfortunately. This is Hilde. Yeah, I consider moving them into new soil just to give them maybe a little bit of clean soil where they have a chance. But they are so small that it's really dangerous to move them. But I think we will do it because they look so poorly in that old soil, and I want to have that in a new pot. Okay, so let me just get the gloves, and then I get a little bit of soil. I brought a pot of sowing soil that I have under the table for emergencies like this. I always have to make sure that Kami, my cat, doesn't take a dump in it. That she doesn't mistake that for a new cat toilet that I have. But so far, I could usually defend it. So yeah, I will fill this thing up with soil now and sowing soil. Pretty decent all-round soil. I like it. It's specifically sold for sowing out, but in my opinion, you can also use it as an additive for cactus soil. Little bit more expensive, but it's good for cacti. In the right percentage, this can be a great thing to add to a soil. Okay. I would spray the new soil because it's not perfect. It doesn't have the perfect humidity that it should have. I really like to have a wet soil when I move seedlings back and forth. That gives you visibility, and it keeps the soil away. When the soil is completely dry and puffy, it will stick to the seedlings. It will make everything more difficult, and also takes away the light from the seedling. Okay, yeah. So this is the original soil that I used here. This was cemetery soil or graveyard soil, kind of blackish soil, just made for display out in the open without being overgrown so badly. And yeah, it's good for cacti, but the large pieces of wood make it a little bit unusable for sowing out. So I'm moving more and more seedlings into the new soil, into the classic sowing soil. Yeah, and these will come out now too. So I try to carefully dig out the seedling, and I always go below the seedling to get the root with it. I don't want to pull on the seedling because very often you end up with the root in the soil. This one here already looks like it has a poor, unhealthy kind of root. This should be bigger. This should be much bigger at that size. So this could already tell me that something's going on with this soil. Maybe the pH level isn't right. Maybe there were fungus gnats. I would just move them into the new container now. And really, with the smaller seedlings, you really need to be careful. The smaller they are, the more soil you have to leave on them, because just disturbing those fragile little roots could be the end. Okay. So I'm placing all the seedlings on top of the soil here. When I'm done with that, I spray them, wash them all around with the water sprayer, and then I can move them into the soil carefully. Like I said, the little roots are so tiny and fragile, so you have to be careful that whatever soil you are pushing them into is not so hard. It shouldn't give, like, it shouldn't press hard against the seedling when you're pushing it in. It shouldn't be so hard. Okay. So this Hildewintera crossed with a columnar cactus. Interesting kind of hybrid, but often unhealthy. And now I want to spray them. This will give the soil that flexibility that I want. And now I can move them into the soil the way I want to. And I really try to, this time I try to give them a good connection, because in the other soil it looked really bad. I didn't like how they looked in that soil. So now I just hope that the moment they are in the new soil, they will turn around, pull around, and recover. This is probably one of those crosses that is already a little bit more unhealthy on a genetic basis, because it's an intergeneric hybrid. So we need to keep that in mind. If we can give the seedlings a little advantage, that can only be good here with these kind of seedlings. Very often these are grafted early on. Yeah, this is just an unhealthy seedling. Like, this is one of the biggest ones, and that one has been really unhealthy, unfortunately. Sometimes you see a seedling and you think it looks great, but then when you turn it around and have a look at the roots, you see that there's probably no saving. It's what I think here. We might be able to graft it, but really this is already so, there's a brown discoloration that could already be in the center of the seedling. Okay, yeah, this is good. I don't think that all of the seedlings that I now have in this soil will survive. I will take this one out. There was a tiny seedling that just didn't look like it would have a chance. Okay, here's a piece of wood that I want to take out, a pretty big one. I just don't want to have that kind of stuff on the top layer. If it's somewhere further down in the pot, I don't mind. But if it's lying around on the top layer, it can bother the seedlings. The seedlings can grow into that piece of wood, and then when you try to remove it, you rip off the root. I don't want that. So I keep that a little bit cleaner than what's below. Okay. Then these I wanted to discuss. Check it out. This is a test, a germination test, viability test, and it succeeded. Now I took them out because I felt like we already have way too many. And yeah, they are looking okay. They need water now. This is very dry for the size of seedlings that we have here. But yeah, I'm spraying it now. And in my opinion, we will get most of these to adulthood. They will grow. Eventually, we will run out of space, but these here look okay. Look like they will make it, probably. Okay. I wanted to discuss these again. Angelo, they need water again. I've had them yesterday, I think, and since then everything's completely dry again. And not dry, a little bit dry in that sense, but completely dry, like a baked pie in this thing. And we need to water just to keep the soil somewhat flexible. Okay. Yeah, that should be enough. Might have already been a little bit too much, but it will dry up again. And I really wanted to have that soil to be a little bit more flexible again. When this kind of soil dries out, sometimes it can become unusable. Okay. These here I wanted to spray, wanted to water. This has been moved into new soil not too long ago, and now it's at the time when they need a little bit of rain hitting them from time to time. I don't think that we can save them all, because some of them are obviously variegated. Some of them have issues that I cannot help them with. But yeah, at least they will have a chance. But because I'm constantly watering them, spraying them, it keeps them clean. I think I would take it out here. I think they should be big enough now. I want to harden them up. Some of these are already 3 months old, and yeah, I want to push them a little bit more now. I've seen a fungus gnat, and that is the kind of stuff. When I see that, I need to decide, okay, do I want to bring them back into the bag, keep them in humidity, and risk that the fungus gnat can become a big issue? Or do I want to start introducing them to the elements? And yeah, and I think that approach makes more sense in that scenario. Okay. I think we will transplant these today. So let me get another pot. And then we will take these out here. Maybe we can split them up into 2 pots. We are already starting to run out of space. If the live stream shows you one thing, it's how much space you need to grow cacti or anything. I'm sure you have the same kind of issues when you are growing something else. At some point you have to single them out, and they need space in between. You're constantly repotting, and that is good. If you're not doing that, you're constantly losing seedlings. Okay. So first I want to spray the soil. I want to keep that. I want to have that in a somewhat usable kind of consistency, humidity. This will sink in, like the water that I'm putting on there. It will sink in within a few seconds. So I put this aside, let it rest, and then I would start taking these out here. Let me see. Okay, so I would start placing little seedlings from this big block of seedlings, and I would start positioning them on the soil the way I want to roughly put them into the soil. So always cleaning the roots a little bit. I don't want to have the same soil in the new pot, you know. That's why I'm transplanting them. I want them to have, for one, I want them to have more space, and I also want them to have new soil, new shoes. So yeah, I'm placing the little seedlings on top of the soil here, one by one. And that is great. Eventually, I might have to split these up into even bigger pots, but for now, I'm just trying to get it to a manageable pot size. If I can split these up into two, then that's okay. It will probably be three pots, but we will see. We will see how much space we actually need. These are really good seedlings, so it's definitely worth the effort. Uwe Kahle seedlings. Okay. Now that I'm able to have a closer look at the seedlings, that will give me a chance to sort out. I would sort out seedlings that have discolorations, weird spots, everything that looks like it could be source for infection. I will remove that. Most of the seedlings look good, but every time you have so many together, closely together, you will always find the ones in between that if you put them back in, you can only lose. So yeah. Okay, I need a third pot here. There are just too many seedlings. Okay. Always trying to fill up the pot as full as I can. This is just later on we will lose soil that will wash down out of the pot at the bottom. So the more that you have in there, the more will stay in within the first few months where you need it. Okay. And yeah, I'm taking apart these big chunks of seedlings. I really want to single them out. It's not that they can't grow like that when they are so crowded, but it's not good. It's not healthy. Eventually, something will fail. One seedling will fail. Will have an infection. One little spine injury from one seedling to another can be the start. So yeah, in this case, there was just no more space in the pot. When you're handling so many seedlings, it makes it hard to kind of see, to always keep in mind what kind of good plants these will become long term. You know, when you have a little seedling lying in front of you, you sometimes you just see the work that it does. In this case, it's so much work to single them out, and you always have to remind yourself that these will end up having amazing flowers, will end up being worth all the work that goes into them. You always have to remind yourself about that. Okay, I'm almost done, but some of the seedlings are pretty deep down in that pot. And it's like I'm excavating. You could even spread these out over 4 containers and it wouldn't be too many. Like it wouldn't be too many pots. Just a lot of seedlings that we have here. Okay. I think this is it. Hallelujah. Okay, so I would spray them just to get them clean. I want to have a clean workspace. I want to be able to see which seedlings have discolorations. Because those will not come back in. I will not pot those up. So for now, I will start moving the seedlings into the soil with my little tweezers here. And I just try to push them into the soil with the root. All of them have that little root system attached to their base. And I try to dig a little hole with this thing and then push the seedling, including the root ball, into that hole that I've created for it. And yeah, very often that works. You might have to move around seedlings. Long term, they usually settle in. Even if something doesn't work in the beginning, like later today when we're watering them, some of them might fall over, but that's not a problem. Long term, we will just correct again next time, and eventually they will settle into their new pot and things will be good. So yeah. And this will take a while. I'm always happy to take questions if you want to know something, if you want to discuss something. If not, I'm just moving, like continuing with the seedlings here. Moving the seedlings into the new soil. I'm really happy about that they are being repotted. This is the type of stuff that keeps the seedlings alive. Sometimes you can keep them together early, and if you can, that is great. But very often space will run out. So doing this in the beginning to give them a little bit of a few good months in the beginning where they can grow in actually fresh soil, that means a lot. That makes a big difference. And yeah, they will reward us by growing well. Okay, need a little bit more visibility, so I'm spraying again. Every time I'm moving soil, the seedlings get dirty just a little bit, so I'm just moving them carefully. Gotta be careful not to break off the root. That is the big rule that you shouldn't break. They can always settle in new soil, but if they lose the little roots, then it makes it so much harder. Very often they can't recover from that. Okay. I'm sure we will lose a few seedlings long term, like the ones that we are moving right now. You will always cause a few micro injuries here and there that you don't see. That will eventually show later, but most of them will eventually turn around and have healthy growth again. There's always a little bit of loss. There's always that, you know. That's a saying that we have in Germany. Yeah, hey mate, welcome to the live stream. Yeah, that one plant that I've shown earlier this morning, it really broke my heart. In the past, like in the previous years, I always lost a few plants here and there due to frost. But it wasn't like it was this year where I really saw a pattern. Like this year, for the first time, I really felt like, oh, I need to have a higher temperature in the greenhouse next year. and I never had that. I always, like, when I had frost damage, it was always something like, okay, that plant had a poor health, and then then they are more likely to succumb to a bad winter. But yeah, I saw mostly with Echinopsis these kind of frost problems, and I just can't do it like that anymore. This is for me, this is the reason next year the temperature is 2 degrees warmer. And again, I've said it in that video, that costs additional money that I don't have. But I really need to do it because I don't want to have that kind of experience anymore. So far, that was really the worst loss that I've seen this year. Long term, I will keep seedlings inside for much longer, and I will have a warmer temperature in the greenhouses. It will be 3 degrees instead of 1 degree Celsius. And it's still cool, but not so cool that I have these cold pockets in the greenhouse. Sometimes you have the thing that measures the heat is placed at one place, and at another part of the greenhouse you can have a different temperature. That kind of low temperature cold spot thing in a greenhouse. And if you have the temperature a little higher, you can have a safety in there to avoid that. Here's a seedling that I wanted to show you. Do you see that brownish thing at the base? Like there's a brown discoloration here. This is done. This is done. Gone with the wind. So this one I will sort out. Doesn't have a chance. Okay, so I would try to clean this one more time, and then we would see. Okay. And later we will need to write a label too. So this is the first one. This is just the first out of 3. Super Wendigo. It's also an Echinopsis. Yeah, Echinopsis are a little bit more cold sensitive. Super Apricot, I showed that in another video recently. That one hasn't been doing well also. Maybe long term I just have to have slightly higher temperatures. And it bothers me because it costs money, I've just paid all the stuff that I need to pay at the beginning of the month, and I'm out of money. I realized, okay, I paid everything now. But yeah, it's a very long month, like the months will be pretty long. So there's constantly stuff that has become more expensive, like the heating of the house. Now they're like, every time I barely get by. Some dude is starting a crisis and gives all those companies an excuse to skyrocket the prices. I'm really frustrated right now because that kind of work here that we're doing, it's not well paid. It's not well paid. They're not showing it the way they should on social media. And yeah, just not good. So okay, I want to spray them again. A little bit more visibility. Okay. So this morning, I don't really use Patreon widely, like in a bigger sense where I am where I have many people that I follow on Patreon, but I have 1 or 2 creators that I support, you know, just for being who they are, just for doing their work. So, and this morning I looked into one where I've had been like supporting for years, like for at least 4 years now, and yeah, eventually, but I have never seen any kind of post, never seen any kind of reply, nothing. So this morning I felt like, okay, I think I did enough. I did enough to support that that creator. And yeah, and then I ended the membership and chose another one that has been doing a lot of good work recently. And now I'm supporting someone else because I kind of believe that in like today, it's important to kind of support the little people that don't have that kind of access to, you know, to that user base like the influencers have. It's become more difficult to survive, to do that kind of hobby thing and survive. So yeah, so I try to, from time to time, also support the little guys. Yeah, and this morning I ended that one subscription and I made a new one for another kind of creator. It's like you're choosing television channels to, like, it's a totally new way to consume media, or to, you know, in the past you just bought from the companies that you wanted to support, and today's, you know, it's a little bit more difficult sometimes. It's so many are involved in the same companies, like the big media companies and all that. Okay, so have a look at this. Yeah, we're getting there. I might be able to move a few of the seedlings from that other container in here. Just a few seedlings in between, that it doesn't look so uneven, so chaotic. I like when it looks a little bit, you know, doesn't have to be synchrone, but just a little bit, like when you look at it, it shouldn't make you uneasy, feeling uneasy. Okay. I would spray them once more now, just to get the dirt off again. Okay. Yeah, looks okay. I can move this under the lamp very soon. I'm almost done here with these. Just a few single ones in between that might need a little bit more work for now. They don't need to be perfect. I say this so often. Perfectionism, it kind of keeps you from just getting a start, from doing something and eventually improving on it. So yeah, we are just doing stuff. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, you know, you're always constantly changing stuff here. Every time I'm watering, one seedling somewhere falls over. And when that happens, we lift it back up. Okay. So this is the last container. I'm really glad when I'm done with these. I'm not doing more than one container per day. That's enough work. All that singling out, repotting. I hate that. Okay, so here's a discoloration that I find suspicious. I often try to look at the display to see if it shows in the video, but apparently not. So this has a brownish spot here. Not good. I will put this aside. So it's good that we have moved the seedlings, because otherwise we would have these brown spots in between. And before we got active, before we took all the seedlings apart, you wouldn't know where that happens. Like when you have one rotting seedling somewhere in the middle, you don't see it when it's a whole container full of seedlings. And eventually you will realize, oh, there's an infection going on right in center. And by the time you realize that, it's often too late. You're often losing seedlings unnecessarily. Sometimes it even spoils the whole container. Okay. So need a little bit more water again, a little bit more visibility. Later today, I will continue filming videos for the channel. We will do many kind of inspection videos. I already uploaded at least 10 more. I'm not sure how many I want to post per day, because I don't want to overload the channel. But I want to post more of those. It is interesting. It tells people a little bit, like, like it can help to see how I deal with a certain type of problem. And yeah, it's helpful kind of content that I want to continue doing a little bit more in the future. So I will film later again and will upload more. Today, during the day, we will get a good 5 videos. Yeah, some of the seedlings look like, this one looks broken. At the very least, it's completely crooked, growing downwards. Doesn't have a root. I'm not sure what to do with that thing. I don't want to be too harsh, but this is a really crooked seedling. I feel like there's a limit for crookedness, what you should be tolerating. Okay. Yeah, let me spray it again. And then we're writing the labels. Yeah, this is just a 6 seedling. I will take that out. Okay. So I spread it up over 3 containers now. Hey Robert, welcome to the live stream. Great to have you. Yeah, everything great. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you are doing well too. Yeah, earlier today I discussed a few things with the Facebook groups that I paused today. I paused quite a few different cactus groups on Facebook. I was just feeling left alone. I'm sure you heard me yesterday or this week complain about the issues that I've had with them, and I'm just not feeling like putting a lot of effort into all that free work that I've been doing for them if they don't appreciate it, like with some sort of a basic decency. So yeah, I've paused groups and I will pause more. Okay, this is Uwe Kahle seedlings, KA17, 79, 22, crossed with Bamboy. What's on the back side? Bravi and Kinky. Okay. Now I need another. We need 3 labels here. KA 17, 79, 22. Crossed with Bravi and Kinky. Okay, good. And this is how you run out of space very fast. So I would spray them one last time to just have them clean, that when I put them under the lamp, they are somewhat able to produce chlorophyll, correcting one or two seedlings that have maybe sunken in a little since I've moved them. Every time I'm watering, the soil changes, and that can lead to seedlings sinking down a little long term. That's just natural. Here's a seedling with an orange discoloration that I want to take out. Accidentally threw away another seedling, and I will put that back in. But yeah, this is the way it's going under the lamp again. This is okay. I'm very happy that I did the work today again, like that, singling out. I didn't want to continue having these very busy pots, completely filled pots with seedlings in the live stream. So it's great to see that something's done about it. Okay. Now I want to spray a few more seedlings that I have here. These here need more water. They are way too small to be completely out of humidity. But there was an issue. Fungus gnats usually, and that's why it's out. Why the soil had to dry out first before I could water again. So this gets a little bit of rain now. Then I make a few corrections with the seedlings just to make sure that they are not lying somewhere on the side. Some of the seedlings here look very small, might not make it. Yeah. I need to be very careful long term about having the perfect watering management for these seedlings, because the soil needs to dry out, but it can't dry out too long or the seedlings are gone. So yeah, I would try to spray them a few times a day, but only after the soil has dried out. And if the soil doesn't dry out within that time, they will get no water. These here need water again. And I want to point towards that big issue with the takeaway containers. Having the soil in this thing like a pie, like a baked pie. This has been an issue with the takeaway containers. It has not been that big of an issue with the normal classic containers. They are not flexible like these here. And when you're growing in takeaway containers, that is an issue. That is a disadvantage compared to other containers, to classic containers. But it works for now. They're growing. I just have to water them from time to time. Okay. These need water. And they are looking okay. Those were pretty stressed. I could see them declining, really not looking well for a while. And I usually, when I see that, I start watering more. Sometimes it becomes a little bit, you become uncertain if you're watering too much or not enough. And very often it's underwatering, not giving enough water. And yeah, since I started watering these more, they've been doing much better. They've looked better every day now. Okay, so here's a container with seedlings that look a little okay. Look nice. 3 months old now. Let me see. Probably Lobivia winteriana. Yes, Lobivia winteriana. The seedlings just look unique like that. Sometimes they have a very typical look. Okay. Yeah, and I'm spraying them now. Just giving them a little bit of water. But these look great. I'm happy. For seedlings that we have grown within 2 or 3 months inside under a lamp, this is pretty good. This is pretty decent. Don't need much. This is all done low budget. Very much low budget. And I'm happy that we're succeeding. Yeah, these here need more water. I'm not sure if you see, but they are actually doing well. They have been repotted, so they're lying around a little bit chaotically. But a lot of them have grown, have started to grow after not doing well. But the same that I said in that other one is true here. They need more water. I've been pushing them a little bit more, watering them on a regular basis. And since then, they have continued to grow again. But yeah, there are 1 or 2 in between that don't look so good. Like the tiny ones that haven't been fully developed. Some of them might not make it. Like we will end up with the healthiest seedlings in this container, and that is okay. You see, there are still quite a lot. Okay. These here are a little bit too deep. I don't like that when they are sunken in like this. Apart from that, color looks a little bit unhealthy, but they've been fertilized. So if it should pertain, it will probably be a genetic thing. I will water them, and sometime soon we will transplant those 2. I'm just not doing more than 1 per day right now. That is entirely enough for the live stream. And we will do more in one of the next episodes. For now, they just get water. Okay, so here's one in washed pumice. One of the few that I still have, because I've grown tired of constantly having pumice everywhere I put a pot. Like when you put this down, the first thing that will happen is you have pumice rolling out of the drainage holes at the bottom, and I'm done with that. I've had enough. So I will water them now, just to be fair to them. Some of them need to be repositioned here. This looks bad. But long term, I want to repot them. I just don't like having too much pumice in my house. There's a limit for everything. Okay. Yeah, these need water. Check out the yellow color. This is genetic. They've been like that from day one. There's that one green seedling in center that shows you how green they could be. So yeah, for now, they need to grow a little bit more. I want to water them once more. And long term, we will lose a few of those in between, those little ones. I think they probably have variegation issues, not able to produce chlorophyll. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. Great to have you here. I appreciate it. Yeah, for now, this is okay. Green color, yellowish color, probably genetic. They've been getting fertilizer. They shouldn't be green. If it was just a nutrient deficiency, it wouldn't be like that anymore. Okay, so these here, healthy color, but for now they need a little bit more water. Okay. Same here. Lubivia winteriana. So this is another Lubivia. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So they will get water, and then we'll see what we do with them. Okay, what do we have here? These look unhealthy. I believe we might have to ditch those eventually. This is not looking like it's going anywhere. For now, I just leave them in there, but I'm not seeing that actual growth, that intent, that desire to live in these seedlings. I'm not seeing it. Okay. These need water. I've just repotted them recently. They still have soil on them. So let's spray them one more time to get them clean a little bit, so I can see if they need to be repositioned a little bit. Sometimes after transplanting seedlings, you need to readjust the seedlings. Yeah, just a few. Trying to work on the connection that the seedlings have to the soil, trying to keep everything around the seedlings low, that the seedlings have a little advantage. Okay. Yeah. Oh, by the way, here's a mutant seedling. Check it out. Here, double header. So this is interesting. Uwe Kahle hybrid. Okay. So these need water, and I want to clean up a little bit. One or two seedlings didn't make it. They didn't make it through the transplanting into the new medium. So we need to clean that up, keep the soil healthy. But yeah, before I do anything, I want the soil to be wet. I don't want to have to have any roots that break off. And I always try to wiggle on the seedlings a little bit carefully. I'm not ripping them out carefully, just moving them to see if they have connection. Here's something that needs to be removed. Expired seedling. Where's the trash can? I usually have a little trash can here. Oh, here. Okay. Good. Yeah. Here's a seedling that looks bad. Check that out. And this one also. I don't want to have a dirty kind of top layer where fungus gnats, where insects, where every pest can thrive. A little bit more salt, more water. Okay, what's going on here? Here's a seedling that was upside down. I corrected that. Okay. Yeah. This is the best I can do for now. And this will go under the lamp again. There's a wide variety of skin color tones here. So this is an interesting cross. I would really love to have a few healthy seedlings from it. These here need water. They're dehydrating. So I will have to water a little bit more in the next couple of weeks. Usually when I see that seedlings are dehydrating, they get my attention right away. That is the big kind of thing, the warning, the red flag that I really take seriously. Okay. Yeah, apart from that, they look okay. They are not in horrible shape. They are just losing water fast. Okay, so I'm not sure what happened here, but this looks like Kami has punched the seedlings. Kami is my cat, and this wasn't the way it was supposed to be. I'm not sure what happened here. This looks like someone punched them. This looks like some animal punched the seedlings. I need to transplant them. This needs to go into new soil. This isn't healthy. This is just every now and then I find seedlings that where my cat has played with them. So yeah, unfortunately, I have to transplant them. I want them in a new soil. Yeah, and this is already too deep in the pot. I wanted to repot them before I've seen how deep they are now. Okay, so I filled that up. New soil, everything. And then I will get that thing again for that I put below so I don't cause a huge mudslide on my desk. Okay. This is like school. This is like when you're playing in the sand lot. Lot of mud. Okay. Yeah, I will move the seedlings into the new soil now. And I only move the healthy ones. There's some that don't look healthy. I will leave those in the soil, in the old one. They will not come with us. And this seedling here, this is borderline, but I would love to ditch it. So I put it aside, but this doesn't look healthy. I consider not bringing it into the new container. I try to remove as much soil as I can. I think I ripped off the root of a seedling here. It can always happen. One bad move and the root is gone. This doesn't look good. I will move it into the new container, but that doesn't look good. Okay. Okay. These are Mamacita, by the way. Lobivia hybrid, Acacia hybrid, something. Not Lobivia, Acacia hybrid, Hildewinterer hybrid, something like that. Acacia echinopsis hybrid. Okay. Okay, I will spray the seedlings now just to clean them and to make the soil a little bit more usable. And then I will carefully push the seedlings into it. And then we'll see, like long term, we will see how this will develop, how these will look within the next couple of weeks. This is not, they are not giving me great, like they don't really show me great health here. This is not a good sign. Fact that I'm repotting them now also has to do with the fact that they are poorly looking right now, that they just don't that they have not grown the way they should have already grown during that time. Maybe we will graft a seedling here and there. Okay. A little bit more water. Soil was still a little bit too hard. Okay, so this seedling here I take out. This is completely white, variegated. I don't want that. They can keep that. There's so many healthy seedlings. I don't need these kind of seedlings too. Okay. We will see how these will develop long term. For now, they are in a new soil. They have been given a new chance, but they don't look good. This is not comparable to how some of the other seedlings look like that are equally old, like that have the same age. These have the same age, you know? Okay. Apart from that, I want to water them, these here. There's a good chance to water them. At some point, we will have to single them out. Right now, they are growing. I have them inside, and I can control the environment. I can make sure that none of them dehydrates, none of them expires. But eventually, we will have issues here. This is too much. So they will be singled out eventually. Okay. These here, I hate how deep they are in the pot. For now, they will just get water because they also give me a dehydrated look. But also, these will be repotted sometime soon. Just because they are too deep in the pot. I hate that kind of thing. For now, it's not a huge deal breaker, but it definitely gives the seedlings a disadvantage. They get less light down there, a little bit more humidity, and in view of the problems with the fungus gnat, that could be an issue. So these need water. I've repotted them just recently, and it's time for another watering here. Okay. These are very variegated. And at this point, it's not sure if they will make it or not. I would spray them. And later today, they will get another rainy mist, misting them a little bit during the day. Getting close to the end here. Spraying a few more seedlings, but yeah. In general, I did what I wanted to do. We're on a good path with everything, with the seedlings. We will have many good plants within the next 2 or 3 years. Like these will come out and will be the future of our breeding. And I'm very happy to do that on the live stream. This could be great. Okay. Here's another one. When you have so many seedlings, you need to be careful that they're not dehydrating. These should be singled out because when you have so many together, none of them get really the minimum they should get. They would get in another pot when they would be singled out. So these need more space very soon. I will try to do 1 repotting per day, like 1 singling out per day. We have time. We will get there eventually. Doesn't have to be all at once. We have time. People who grow cacti, they are usually very patient people. Okay. So this comes on the side. This is done. Okay. So I wanted to have a look into this one. before I end the live stream, just to see what we have here. These have been singled out just recently. They need water. A little bit of rain here. Okay. Forget to water this one. All right. Yeah, I think this is good. We have watered all the plants that I wanted to water today. Later I will continue just spraying random seedlings, like containers that look like they need a little bit more. The soil never really dries equally depending on how much water you put there beforehand. Sometimes you just accidentally water some seedlings more than others. So I try to fix that later. Yeah, and apart from that, I think this was a good live stream. Thank you guys for having been here with me today again. I appreciate it. I will be back here again tomorrow, and we will discuss stuff. Thank you, mate. Have a nice day. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, have a great day. Have a great time. Yeah, and later today I will film again for the channel. There will be new videos coming soon. I'm trying to film daily again now. So thank you guys. I'll be back soon. Tomorrow, same time. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.